Hi, my name is Gregg Wallace. I'm an Associate Professor in the Web Department of the Computer Technologies Division. The purpose of this video is to show you some of the highlights of my Exemplary course that was submitted for Master Certification. I'm beginning here in the Lessons folder. Most of us have done this. We have a course entry quiz, and there is an adaptive release placed on it so that the Lesson 1 folder is not available until the quiz has been completed. My instructional designer, Sharon Rogers, who helped me through this process, suggested a course syllabus quiz with a similar adaptive release. I think this is a great idea because the quiz has questions such as, well, what textbook do you need, and that sort of information. This ensures that students know where the syllabus is and understand some of the fundamental requirements for the class. That was a nice addition to this course, I thought. Also, we see here a course calendar, which is pretty standard, but now it includes a downloadable PDF version of that. Next, I want to take you to announcements. Here I've saved my original welcome message to Web 2.14, and then the new and improved welcome Web 2.14 online message. We can see that the newer message uses bullets, bolding, and color much more effectively than my old message, making the information much easier for students to absorb, I think. Moving along, we'll go to Getting Started. The Exemplary course here includes a welcome video shot in an outdoor setting, an informal setting that I think students appreciate, just as a, "Hi, this is me, glad you're here, welcome aboard" type of message. Next, I'll take you to faculty information. Here I've expanded the information by providing a pretty extensive bio. A lot of thought and care went into this message, and I tried to not only give a little background about myself, but to maybe inspire some students. I've also included an EPIC certified badge over here, which I hope to soon replace with a Master certified badge, if all goes well. One of the big changes that were brought on as a result of working with an instructional designer is the use of soft chalk. Web 2.14 is a social media marketing class, and we make use of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, other social marketing media channels to promote students academically or professionally. We can see now, and I've left some of this information in its old format so that you could compare it to the new soft chalk format. I really like what soft chalk brings to a Blackboard section. First of all, you can have a very standard navigation and overview of a lesson that can be repeated in later lessons. Navigation is easy. The same information is presented here, but it's sort of bitten off in digestible chunks, which I think is a big bonus. The other thing I really like about this is the inclusion of little self-check quizzes at the end of each portion of a lesson. Here's an example. Potential employers may ask you for your Facebook login. Is that true? Do they actually do that, or is it false? Well, you can check, and in this case, it is true. So soft chalk has been incorporated into these hands-on social media assignments in this class. I've also gone a little bit beyond what I had done in the past by incorporating wikis into my Exemplary course. And in this case, we use wikis for students to post job postings that they've researched and found. And in my experience, students really interact with other students almost more with wikis than they do in the discussion board. I'm not sure why this is. Maybe just because of the novelty. Maybe they're not used to seeing this, and they seem to like the environment. So I recommend the use of wikis if it's the right tool for your job. Next, I want to show you under Course Resources. Just about all the information here is provided in video form with closed captioning and downloadable text alternatives. Subjects such as how to submit assignment in Blackboard, information on CompuTutor. They're asked to create screen captures, so I have tutorials on doing it on a PC and on a Mac, and all of them include closed captioning and text transcripts to make them accessible. One of the big changes I've made from the past, and one of the most helpful tools I've found, I think this goes a long way towards making this course exemplary, is the use of Remind.com. One of the first things I do in my Lesson 1 folder is I instruct students with smartphones to text to this number, this message, and they automatically are signed up to receive course-related texts from me. At first, when I did this, I made it optional. I had 6 or 7 students. Now I just make it a requirement, and I get almost 100% compliance with this. Even students that don't have smartphones can go to this address on their desktop and sign up for email notifications. One of the things I really like about using Remind.com, and that really makes a Blackboard section very useful, is the fact that at Remind.com you can download and install widgets, which I've done here under Announcements. So this is the Remind.com widget. It gives you this little interface, and basically every message that you set out as a text is duplicated here in this Announcements area. Looking at my last announcement, it says here, a few students were incorrectly marked down for not having hashtags on their Instagram assignment. This has been corrected, so sorry. Sometimes it's hard to find where that information is. I made a goof. Well, students may or may not read their emails more than once a week, but they all have their phones with them, don't they? And they get these texts, and no one can say, I don't have a phone, I'm at a disadvantage, because these messages are always duplicated in the announcements area or wherever you choose to put them because of the Remind.com widget that's available. So this is my exemplary course. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, and I wish you all the best in the future.